we're going to do a review of long division. Remember, for long division, you will need a T-chart on the side to track your multiplication so that it will be easier for you. We're going to do a problem with the divisor of 12 to start with. Remember to make your T-chart all the way to 9. And I'm just going to make up a random problem. $2,345 divided by 12. The first thing I'm going to do is see how many digits are in my divisor. I have 2 digits in my divisor, so I need to count over at least 2 digits, and then I have to decide, is my divisor smaller than the sum of these 2 digits, which would be 23. So there it is. So how many 12s are in 23? I come over here and I check my chart. I'm looking for the number that's closest to 23 without going over. That's 12. Its partner is 1, so the 1 goes above the 23. And 1 times 12 is 12. I subtract. I get 11. Since my remainder is smaller than my divisor, I bring down my next digit, which is a 4. Now I'm going to look over here in my chart, and I'm going to look for the number that's closest to 104 without going over, and that is 108, and its partner is 9. The 9 goes right above the number that I just pulled down, which was the 4, and 12 times 9 is 108. I subtract. I get 6. My 6 is less than 12, so I can pull down my 5. Now I'm going to see how many 12s go into 65 without going over. I look at my chart. I can see that 60 and its partner is 5. So my 5 goes right above my 5, and 5 times 12 is 60. I subtract. I have a remainder, but I have nothing left here. So I have to add in a decimal in both my dividend and in my quotient, and add in a 0, and then bring my 0 down. So now I'm going to see how many 12s go into 50. I look over here, I see 48 is close to 50 without going over. Its partner is 4. So I put my 4 at the top. 48, subtract, gives me a 2. I still have a remainder, so I need to add in another 0. Bring it down. How many 12s go into 20? Looks like we can just put 1. So I put a 1 above that 0. 1 times 12 is 12. I subtract. I get an 8. Now, because I've only gone to my hundreds place, I'm going to go one more time. I bring that down. How many 12s go into 80? Looks like that'll be 6. And 6 times 12 is 72. I can go ahead and stop right there, because remember I told you that you need to go over at least 3 places, because in the 6th grade we want you to round to the nearest hundreds place. So this 1 is going to look back at the 6, and the 6 is either going to tell the 1 to stay the same or to move up. Since 6 is bigger than 5, it's going to tell the 1 to change to a 2. So then my answer is 195.42. That's my answer. The next problem we're going to do, we are going to again use our T-chart. And this time I want you to do the problem 1.2 into 6.438. Now, you notice that we have a decimal in our dividend, in our divisor and in our dividend. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite that. So I have 6.438 because remember our dividend goes above our divisor, and 1.2. So since I have one decimal, I'm going to multiply both the denominator and the numerator by 10, which moves this decimal here, which now gives me 12, and moves this decimal here, which is 64.38. So now I'm going to do 12 into 64.38. I'm going to use my 12s again. And now I'm going to work on the problem 64 and 3800ths divided by 12. So again, since I have two numbers in my divisor, I'm going to look at the first two numbers. So I look over at my chart and I see what two numbers are closest to 64 without going over, and that is going to be 60. Its partner is 5, so my 5 goes right above my 4. I subtract, I get 4. I have a remainder here that's smaller than my divisor, so I know that I'm mathematically correct. But the next thing I see is a decimal, so I go ahead and push my decimal up, and then I take my number down. So I have the number 43. I look over here in my chart. I can see that 36 is my next closest number. Its partner is 3, so I put a 3 here above the 3. I subtract, get 7. 7 is smaller than 12, so I can go ahead and bring down my 8. How many 12s go into 78? Looks like 6 of those will for 72. Subtract. I have 6 left over, but I have no more numbers, and I already have a decimal. So some of you might be thinking, now what do I do? You can just simply add in the 0. No need for another decimal, no need for anything else. Just go ahead and add in that 0. This only works if you already have a decimal in your dividend. If you don't, you have to do the same thing we did up here in this first problem. So let's go back, bring down my 0. How many 12s go into 60? I look at my chart. It looks like that's 5, and 5 times 12 is 60. I subtract. I'm now at 0. So my answer is 5.365. Again, I go to my second number past my decimal point. It looks back at that third number. This 5 tells the 6 to go up, so my answer is 5.37. If you have any additional questions or need any help with dividing decimals, please make sure that you let me know. I want you to go ahead and go on to 10 marks and do the division assignment that was sent to you.